Hey everyone, my name is Daniel, and in this video, I'll show you how you can build custom agents that use deep reasoning models. So here's a scenario where the agent could not provide me the answer. So I went to the settings, turned on deep reasoning, and now when I asked the exact same question, I got detailed answer. So stick around because like I just showed you, deep reasoning can definitely fill some of those capabilities which the out-of-the-box orchestration cannot. But first, here's my intro video. These deep reasoning models is currently available in preview. And this is what comes in really handy when your end users answer those complicated questions for which we have to run complex tasks and provide very detailed answers. Now, there are two things that you have to keep under consideration. One is this feature is in preview and it is not on by default. You have to go and toggle it on. And secondly, in order for it to work, you have to add very specific instructions to trigger the deep reasoning model. And I'm going to walk you through all of that right now with an example that I already have of an autonomous agent. We will first run this agent as is, then we will go ahead and turn on the deep reasoning, run the exact same scenario, and then we will compare the differences and the enhancements. So let's go jump into that. So what I have over here is an autonomous agent called request for project inventory. And this agent is very specifically used by an HVAC type of company who goes ahead and does maintenance of HVAC type of systems, but it also takes on new projects. Now, what's interesting for you to note is the three tables it utilizes in the backend. See, there's these three knowledges. Let's go double click on them, all right? So I'm going to open up this tab, and first table is called as inventory item. And as you can see over here, it's based on location, which is basically the city, the state, what's the part name, number, and importantly, quantity. Keep that in mind, all right? Next table is the part costs. It has the same part number as the previous table we saw, but over here specifically it shows what the cost is. And last but definitely not the least is about the humans interaction, which is the technicians. So you see, it has the same thing as the location, but now it also has the technician tied to the location. What is the allocated date? Like right now, for example, Sophia is working for the next 15 days. So Sophia is completely allocated. She is 100% utilized for all her projects, but it shows me what the next available date is. Makes sense? Because it's very important that you understand the data that is available in the backend. And in this case, it's the three tables that I showed you. All right, so let me show you the trigger. Over here, it is incoming email. The email is tied to a very specific mailbox and it's looking for some keywords. This is the mailbox that other technicians or the salespeople send information over here with very specific body, which I'll demo to you. And that is what triggers the agent to go and do all of this analytics in the backend. And finally is the tool over here, which is send email. Once we get this incoming email, which is the trigger, the agent goes ahead and does all the analysis. A specific email is sent with a summary to the managers for the approval. This all happens with this agent over here. And so now we're going to do those two scenarios I talked about earlier. We will run this out of the box in an autonomous fashion. And after that, we will go ahead and turn on the deep reasoning. So now I'm playing the role of Jane Doe, all right? Jane is one of the analysts who's gone and seen a great potential HVAC type of project and has put all of this email together to send in a very specific mailbox for that autonomous agent to do all the analysis. But let's read this email, okay? It has a very specific title called Parts and Talent for a Project Request. Next is the actual body itself. Hello, we have an existing customer in Tallahassee, Florida, which has a potential request. Following are the parts required for this project. Now I'm giving a number and a name, all right? So there's 5 hydraulic pumps required, 30 control valves, 20 pressure sensors, so on and so forth. So it makes sense over here, like this is just the inventory side. In addition, Jane is also saying, I estimate a total of 5 technicians who will be needed for 2 weeks to complete this project. Can you provide me an estimate and the next available date? So you see there's a lot of information provided over here, but there is also an ask, all right? So for the autonomous agent to trigger, I'm going to go and click on send. Moment I do that, the email is gone. I'm going to switch back over here into this agent because as you can see, if I scroll up over here, the trigger is going to happen. Email that we send is going to trigger this agent to go ahead and do all of its magic. All right, so the email came through the manager. I'm going to click on that and we'll read it together, right? So this is the summary that was given by the agent to the manager. It's giving an overview of what Jane already said. Now is where it is showing us the work that the agent has done from all this analysis. The first thing is the inventory availability and storage locations. Remember, this is coming from the Dataverse tables that I showed you. So it is telling me, hey, these are the hydraulic pumps that are available in multiple storage locations, which is great. Next, it is telling me total cost estimate, all right? This is what it's going to cost. And then finally, technicians availability in the Tallahassee, Florida. It says only one technician is found. That's the name, and it's all over here. So this is the overview, which is not bad, all right? It is not bad. It's a good one to start with, but this is what it currently shows us. What we're going to do now is turn on the deep reasoning, do this all over again. So let's go back into the agent once again, which is right over here. I'm going to go into the settings piece, and right here, you see deep reasoning. By default, it is toggled off. I'm going to go ahead and toggle that on. Next, I'll go and click on save. On the top, we are waiting for it. It says, we are saving our changes. This might take a few minutes. So let it go ahead and finish through the whole thing. All right, it is done. So I'm going to X out over here. I'll X out over here as well. And we got to make one little change. I'm going to come over here to the overview. Remember, we need to update the instructions and specifically imply the term reason. So for my instructions, I want to actually do that right over here. It says review the technician's knowledge source, and I'm going to say and use reason to assess how many technicians are available in near the area. So specifically over here, I said and use reason. The reason is the word that triggers this agent to go and do the deep reasoning. All right. So I'll click on save over here. Let it process my request. It's going ahead and saving specifically that instructions. That looks successful. I'm going to go and click on publish. Again, since this option for forced newest version is there, I'll go and select that as well. Click on publishing. The publishing is going to finish. And then we will repeat the first thing all over again. Send the external email to go ahead and trigger the autonomous agent. And we will see the difference in the final email that the manager gets. All right, publishing is complete. So let's go ahead and send that exact same email, all right? It's going to the same mailbox, the exact same subject, and the exact same description over here. See, the same content. What I'm going to do is go and click on send. Now keep in mind, because we are using deep reasoning, this time the agent can take some additional time. So it might take a few extra seconds longer for that email to come into that inbox. So let's just wait. All right, so the second email also came through. So you can see there's a time difference. And because we turned on the deep reasoning for the second email to come through, it does take a little extra time. But what I want to do is open them up side by side. All right, I'm going to open up this one over here, and then I'm going to open up the one. So the one on the left was the first one that we sent, all right? This was the first one. Then after we did the modifications, the one on the right came in. And immediately you can notice a big difference on the data, the information that came in. So on the left side, they were still good, all right? We got some information, which is going to be the total cost and the technicians available. But on the right, look at the details, all right? So first of all, the requested parts and inventory availability in detail, like all these parts that I'm asking from them, the hydraulic pump, the control valve, the pressure sensors, like it is telling me, hey, you required 5, but they are available in all of these locations. Next thing, also estimated part costs. It is telling me that for all of these parts that you asked, these are the estimated costs. And I'm wondering why it did that over here, but it didn't do that over there. Well, that's because over here we've got deep reasoning, but it's also taking into account the data. Let me show you what I mean. When I come back over here directly into our Copilot Studio, I want to go into the parts one. See the parts cost? As you can see that sometimes the bearing set over here, they may have multiple costs involved. So because I've only used the part name, the orchestrator wanted to make sure I had all the correct information using deep reason. It is giving me an estimate. It doesn't give me the exact answer. This is good. This is how you get accurate information. All right, let's go back to that email again. I'm gonna come back over here. Let's open up both those emails. So next, let's take a look at the technician availability. Initially, it said technicians availability for this location. It says only one technician available, and that's the location. However, on the right, it says no resident field technicians are available in this locations. However, close enough, these are what are available. And it goes and says 2 will be available on this specific date, 1 will be available on the other date. This data comes specifically from the knowledge that we provided. Remember, of all the technicians, it showed them how many technicians we have, who of them are occupied right now, and their next availability date. That's the data from all the deep reasoning, and it comes back over here. And finally, after assessing the technician's availability, it goes and gives me a recommendation. But let's go back to the agent again and look at the activity of before and after the deep reasoning. So I already have this completed one, so let me show you that. I'll come back over here. See, these are the two that were already completed previously, and they had the same scenario. So when I come to the bottom one, I click on the bottom one, I come over here into this activity. On the view, I go and select the map view. It shows me that this was the trigger. When a new email came in, it searched through two of these knowledge sources, and then it sent me an email. This is great. Next, let's go back and see the first one again. All right, this was the after one, after the change was made. When I click over here, it looks the same. However, when I go to the view and I switch it over to the map view, this is where you see reason with advanced model kicked in. So yes, it went through and searched through the knowledge sources, but then it took that data and it did some deep reasoning. And that is what caused this other information, like the one on the right, the one deep information that came in. See, the deep reasoning was able to really process all your knowledge and give us this much level of detailed knowledge. This is pretty awesome. I also encourage you to go watch this demo video that Microsoft has built, because over there they have used another scenario to go and leverage deep reasoning, and it's pretty awesome. The link to that video is in the description below. So as a recap, keep in mind that there are some requirements. By default, deep reasoning feature is turned off, so you have to go into the settings and toggle it on. After that, you have to give it specific instruction. Use the term reason in the instruction, and that will trigger this agent to go ahead and utilize the deep reasoning functionality. Once you take care of all of that, this will work. Keep in mind, this is in preview, so look, touch, play, just don't go production with it. Hopefully this video was useful to you, and as always, keep using Copilot Studio. Hey, if you have a few seconds, can you click on that like button and even consider subscribing it? Because it's just 2 easy clicks for you, but boy, it makes a big difference for me. Also, if you don't mind, can you put in a comment below? Because that really boosts this video up to reach a higher audience. And once again, thank you for watching this video.